동그랗게. 이거 이제 그 가방 검사나 보다. 지금 사람 들어가는 게 좋았대.
Hollywood. To assist with quickly entering the park, please place all belongings.
자, 유니버설 스튜디오 왔습니다. 저기 가운데 영상 있잖아. 저기. 자, 가자 이제 스캔하고.
뭔지 모르지만.
그래, 한번 배출해봐. 해가지고.
Our park will stay open until 9 p.m. tonight with the last studio tour running.
자.
티켓은 이제 적어놓으시면 돼. 티켓 안 필요해요. 야, 잘하면 우리 이거 많이 안 기다릴 것 같아.
트림을 타야 돼, 1시간짜리.
자, 이어서 오세요.
Here we have.
가만히 있으면 플레이시지 마시고.
Good afternoon. Welcome to seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property. If any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restrooms, pull the cord, remain seated. Also, you're going to have your cell phones and cameras ready for those great photo opportunities, but keep your eyes on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and those around, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board.
Fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Thank you, Jimmy. On March 15, 1915, our founder, Carl Lever, invited the with fantastic one-of-a-kind Hollywood elements, like the burning house and the rock slide in this area in the 1970s and 80s. And you're on board our newest version of our studio tour vehicle, the electric train, as we continue our commitment to creating a zero-emissions studio tour fleet. And in 2000, we added onboard video to bring our trams into movie theaters on wheels. And coming down the hill, we're on the left here, this timeline, our moving timeline, these movie posters representing just a fraction of the thousands of films that we do. And at the very end, of this timeline, we have our Best Picture winner for Oppenheimer. And that's adding to our 11th Academy Award for Best Picture. Heading to the front lot, we're no longer in a theme park now, but we're taking you to where we film a lot of the classic movies.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transformed.
studio lot. They filmed here the movie Jurassic Park, 1993. Bungalows that were used by many writers. But
Now, they're used as offices where some of Hollywood's top directors, writers, and producers work their magic to get a production ready.
There's my boy. I know you love your dada. Go on, say it.
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face or with his body language.
We've had some real.
And also on the left, we have the Wicked logo. That is Art Flagg's production company. He's the producer of the Wicked movie. I've got on the show with him, Ryan Lopez.
And in the big cities, quiet suburbs, even that guy's hometown. Yeah, that guy. For countless movies and TV shows. This is Universal's Metro sets.
And the buildings here on the right are basically facades. We can call these facades meaning false fronts, but these are what we use for our exterior scenes. Alright folks, I just had to have my mic off there for a moment. We just passed by Soundstage 26 where they were filming currently for St. Dennis Medical. And on the right we have our... Ladies and gentlemen, you are in Courthouse Square. This is Hill Valley from the movie Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd and Maria Thompson.
Great Scott! It's time to go back to the future. This famous line, along with "Isn't he a dreamboat?" were uttered right here at Courthouse Square, aka Hill Valley, from 1985's Back to the Future. Courthouse Square was also used in Bye Bye Birdie and To Kill a Mockingbird long before my son ever saved the clock tower. And glamour trams have been passing by this same set since 19...
Studio Tour Classic, and here's one of the stars of Universal's 2005 version of King Kong, Jack Black, to tell you about it.
And self-action. Did you know the Metro sets were once the home to Hollywood's biggest star? Right here is where the original Studio Tour King Kong attraction resided from 1986 until 2008. He stood 30 feet tall and weighed in at 13,000 pounds. Over the years...
Take a look on the left and the right. We have so many things plugged into the sidewalks, street lamps, lamp posts, and a traffic light signal there to the right. We can plug them in just like a lamp in a home. We have electrical outlets underneath those metal plates. A lot more control to make this look like a different time period, a different season of the year by adding sometimes fake snow. And what we'll do is we'll make these look like different businesses just by changing the signs and the windows and the doors. But this was seen as New York, downtown. So hurdle towards the tram and come to a screeching halt. Both are retired facts that were made in the studio 250 years ago.
뒷모습을 저희가 뒷모습을.
Going from the concrete jungle now to the actual jungle. Welcome to Skull Island. We work with many film directors, including Academy Award winner Peter Jackson. Here he is.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct the movie. Kong literally does it. I mean, you're on a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife in Skull Island.
Formerly known as Meta Digital. You've seen them work in so many featured during King Kong. Our trim was also featured in one of the, if you take a look on your right, this mural painting, it uses bold colors and shadows to make it look three-dimensional. If you take a picture of it, it'll look real on your camera, but not with our naked eye, because we see depth perception, the cameras do not. But this string was seen in a few shows on the network ABC, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter. This is also seen as India in the show The Mindy Project, and downtown London in Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw with Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson. To the right, we have another painting. This is our monster mural, paying homage to our monsters like Dracula and Frankenstein. This was all done by hand using hundreds of spray paint cans by Tristan Eaton, a local artist here in Los Angeles. Films did do production here in our backlot back in the 1920s and 30s. Really put us on the map as being a major player in Hollywood during that time. Among other studios, inspired by the classic film The Ten Commandments. The star of the movie, Charlton Heston, made an appearance to part the waters for our guests. And the glamour tram seemed to drive right through the lake and give everyone on board a sea-level view.
It's overloaded. Tell them they can walk on water. It's part of the tour.
There have also been exploding water lines, torpedoes, and prop submarines as part of the action in the lake. Curious, anyone here on the tram ever did the parting of the Red Sea? Oh, okay, yeah, we got a few hands there. I used to do this too, it was really fun. Yeah, this ranges from Dracula in 1931 to the upcoming Dark Universe at Universal Epic Universe, opening next year in Orlando. And this is where the monsters got their start. We call this Little Europe, where we can go to any major country, France, Germany, Spain, just by changing the languages on the signs, adding different flags to the sets everywhere. This is where Frankenstein was being chased by the villagers with the pitchforks and the torches. The misunderstood monster. Also, Little Europe here was seen as Pamplona, Spain, and the movie City Slickers with Billy Crystal. There was a Running of the Bulls right over here. Also, Disney was here for Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl with Johnny Depp. Also, Disney's, if you've seen Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement, Anne Hathaway, we get a great scene here, where Kelly Clarkson did the musical number Breakaway. The soundtrack is doing the scene. And right here, this is also seen as the Afterlife, and the show, The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
And on the right, we have here the Court of Miracles. This is where we filmed the original Hunchback of Notre Dame with Lon Chaney back in 1923. Lon Chaney was considered the man of 1,000 faces. He did his own makeup. He did so many different characters that were so different from each of the other characters. He did another character, Phantom, in Phantom of the Opera in 1925. Over Drive. On the right, we are right behind our Western sets. This is part of our 6 points area. We call them 6 points because we had 6 different streets, just like this one with its own Western town, sheriff's office, saloon, and jail cell and bank. And during the silent film era, we could film 6 different Westerns at the same time because there is no way to really interrupt each other's production when it comes to sound. But yeah, we call these props, the barrels, the crates, the wagons. Props are part of our storytelling, so it really does help to set the mood of what's happening in the scene. Different time periods as well, too. That was seen in the recent production, the continuation of Quantum Leap. That was on NBC, starring Raymond Lee and Ernie Hudson. We're going to go to a bit more of a peaceful place. Let's head over to Amity Island. Now, Amity Island, I don't know if you heard about this, folks, but it was attacked by a great white shark. The shark has been caught. There it is on the pier. Now, if you see another shark out there, let me know, okay? Alright, everyone, please remain calm. We have our scuba diver George. He's on the case. Everything is under control. Yeah, we're gonna check back with George later. Alright, everyone, please remain seated as we approach the boat. George is okay right now. Okay, everyone, look at the buoy. You see that buoy out there in the water? We put bait in there, but something's out there for sure.
물 다 타맞았어.
Yay! Let's hear it for Bruce, everybody! Thank you, Bruce! That's the mechanical shark we've had since 1976, a year after the movie Jaws, released in theaters, directed by Steven Spielberg and the composer of the soundtrack, John Williams, creating these two iconic notes. Ba-da, 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 ba. You start to, you get, you Finding Nemo, Disney Pixar, they named the shark Bruce. Yeah. A shout out to Jaws and a Disney film. Heading over to another classic attraction here on the back lot. Here to tell you about it is today's show co-host and weather anchor, Al Roker. Take it away, Al.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968.
이제 저기 봐야 돼. 몰라봐. 저기서 홈수 나와.
Welcome to the only part of the back lot with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
Yes, again, one of our oldest attractions on the studio tour since the late 60s. This is how we do weather in movies, using sprinklers positioned way above the Get ready for the flash flood! Now for those still wearing your 3D glasses, just a reminder, that was real. Thousands of gallons of recycled water released from tanks at the top. Also, Lady Gaga was out there filming a music video called Judas, standing up there herself without using a stunt double. We call this area here Old Mexico, seen in movies like Nacho Libre with Jack Black, My Paramount, and also Orion was here years back for The Three Amigos with Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. Back in the 1990s, Janet Jackson was here filming a music video called Escapades. And this is seen as China in the movie Hawk with Russell Brand. So a lot of good uses for this set here. But we're crossing the border now from Old Mexico into the Old West. We are now in 6 Points. We're in 6 Points. Again, this was seen in so many different productions as well. Sony was here for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, back in 2019. A big film of the big A-list cast, Al Pacino, Margot Robbie, and Timothy Olyphant. But these buildings are what we call facades, false fronts, and we did a lot of cool sequences here for fight scenes. And back in the early 1900s, our founder, Carl Laemmle, knew that people weren't just interested in movies, but how they were made. So he was the pioneer behind the idea of the studio tour that we're doing now. He would invite the public into the studio and watch silent movies, westerns. They would sit on bleachers and they would cheer for the good guy and boo for the bad guy. And their admission to the studio was 25 cents, and it came with a box lunch with your visit. Coming up through here again, we're heading back up Steven Spielberg Drive. Steven Spielberg was here using our Western sets back in the 1980s for The Color Purple. And they used these sets here. On the right, we have a house. It's a 2-story house. We call that a practical set. You can film it.
So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Steven.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the world, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Down close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Also on the right, we have the house of Mother in the movie Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. This is not a replica. This is the original house from the film. Now, I mentioned the soundtrack from Jaws. Sounded kind of scary. You know what? You want to hear another scary song? This one. Used in Psycho.
미저리.
Also on the right
Psycho.
side, we have our
Misery.
official replica of LA's most iconic club, where guests disembark for once-in-a-lifetime photos and interact with characters, vehicles, and props from their favorite productions. And just for our 60th anniversary, we brought that opportunity back. When you're ready to continue your tour, simply follow the signs, and we'll see you soon, folks. Have a good rest of the day, and have